Question 7 requires table interpretation. We're told that citizens of Beematia pay tax on their incomes each calendar year as follows according to this table. So as we can see, your age on December 31st determines the tax that you pay. If you're under 50 on December 31st, the first $9,000 of your income is tax-free. After that, you're taxed 20% on the next $25,000 of income. After that, all further income, whether it's $1 million above $25,000 or just $10,000 above $25,000, it's going to be taxed at 30%. If you're 50 and over, the first $14,000 of your dollars is tax-free, therefore you get to keep more of your income. The next $33,000 is taxed at 20%, again allowing you to keep more, and then all further income above that is likewise taxed at 30%. We're told that in 2014, John pays $5,600 in tax, whereas the next year, in 2015, despite earning $2,000 more, he paid $800 less, than in 2014. So that would mean he paid $4,800. Now, within this marginal tax framework, it is impossible for you to be within the same tax regime and pay less despite earning more. So this must mean that Paul transitioned from being under 50 on December 31st to being 50 and over between this time period. So, in order to work out the question, which is what was Paul's total income in 2015, we also need to work out Paul's total income in 2014 because there is a $2,000 difference between the two. So now that we have our table, let's work through 2014, bearing in mind that $5,600 was paid. This obviously means that he did earn more than the $9,000 amount, which is tax-free, because he did end up paying some tax. Also, we can bear in mind that $5,000 is 20% of the $25,000 you're allowed to keep. So we can say that he earned the full $25,000 on top of the $9,000 because he did pay the full $5,000 rate of tax on that. So we're at $34,000 so far, and we need to work out what additional amount he earned to pay this $600, which is as yet unaccounted for. Well, whatever it is that he earned, he paid this $600 is 30% of what he earned. So we can then work out if 30% is $600, 100% must be 600 divided by 3/10, which is equivalent to 6,000 divided by 3, because we should know that 3/10 is 0.3, so we can just multiply both variables by 10, and we know that he earned $2,000 in order to pay this 600 in tax, so we can add that in. There we go. Now we could go through the same process with 2015 in these new tax brackets, but we don't need to. We're told in the question quite clearly, and we cited it earlier, that in 2015 Paul earned $2,000 less than he earned in 2014. If we add these three together, we know that he earned $36,000 for that tax year. Now we could go on to work out in the same way the 2015 values from these new tax brackets here, but we don't need to, because we're told in the question that Paul earns $2,000 more in 2015 than he did in 2014, but ended up paying less tax, which is true. So let's just write in $2,000 more, is 38,000, and this is our answer D. We can, however, check that we're right, although this is